Who's our next target?
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just...
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a part, and these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there...
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it?
Very good indeed. I thought the back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be...
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box...
I see. So that's...
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience...
So that's how you...
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and...
Right! You were talking about...
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown...
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh,
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
so that's how it all worked! Wow,
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the... And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member.
We really don't know
If not for that interlude, this would have been And yet, to think that someone was able to... Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with...
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting.
Why would it be him? Gosh, and digging a tunnel just... Whoever the murderer... This people needed to register.
What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But
whatever it is,
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from Her clothes are here.
Right. And do you really... Ugh. This is so...
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh! Paimon knows! And here's a broken vase!
That can't...
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been...
Alone, perhaps. But if...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once...
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that. The guards have checked the area.
So the tunnels become like a
No wonder Farina was...
In other words, the charge...
charges and then
That's right. This is how a trial goes. That's right. This is how... The statements from both sides, that if, to put it simply, it's as if the oratory...
This also precludes any kind of...
Once both sides have finished speaking, then, finally...
Huh? So that machine...
In practice, there is very... yes, the... Because we've chosen to act as the twin...
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties. Or that, and even if that were not so, it could...
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that!
Of course. I just hope you don't...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. I mean, what better way to properly think through...
Huh. Breaking out suddenly just... Just kidding! Just kidding! Paimon will still do...
What do you mean, no snack?
Huh?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable...
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled from the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around. Paimon thought you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself, beating the egg.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere. Don't underestimate beating egg weights by the... Anyway, give these a try.
Only three?
Well, eating too many sweet treats.
Tea is ready to be served as well. No need for concern. I'm merely doing it.
All right, then. Down to business. However, we can assume that Linny, the magician twins, could have committed...
Exactly! Why would...
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance, resulting in the shattering of the vase, perhaps the criminal thought that since...
Paimon thinks that makes sense.
True. Not but... The only people left to consider are both technically victims. Whether it's...
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would... Nor does she have any motive. The guard...
Were we not... From the sound of things, this is turning into... Your macarons are amazing, though, Nav.
They are my specialty.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon...
Please don't worry about it. At my age, if you...
No. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe if Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then...
All right, we get it. Malus, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to...
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well...
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know what we're looking for. It would be awkward if you got all...
All right, thanks for your help.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find any.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've gotta get...
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things...
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects, besides, I doubt Farina understands it.
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? That was to be expected, of course. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you,
Since both parties are present, I declare, firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes...
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette...
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact...
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were...
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of...
And you didn't hear anything else at all?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count...
Huh?
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those be...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what... Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are... Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an act.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little... The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is...
Hey, Linny! Why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorney.
Order! Order, Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after... In that case, my dear audience, let...
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro... I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to... We based our entire reasoning on not to set the wrong tone or anything, but...
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably... I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times, but our organization is very, very large.
Right now, we want to save people.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become... That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, you met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster but still, I'm asking you to trust...
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no...
Of course. I'll answer any question. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. During our investigations, we learned that from that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about... So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this...
Well, nothing. As soon as... Which should have been impossible, of course. That voice seemed to recognize me, and on the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground. But the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it... After that, the homicide occurred.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must...
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole... It was never my wish to proceed, but like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty... If we want to refute the Hydro Archons... Huh?
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her...
That took long enough. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. Countdown began. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught. So Linney proceeded to knock afterward. Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic... And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is...
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Seems this won't produce a particularly... Linny went to the room. Linny did not...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, but he immediately used a vent to act. Once he reached that area, the crime scene had already finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident... Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered... Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to...
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box... You're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon... Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Linny wasn't... This means that the same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the...
Well, to think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it? The deceased's name is Cowl, Linny's assistant. Could there have been a third person? Halsey is the missing person, and the deceased's name is Cowl.
That can't be right.
Oh, is that? What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowl did, and how he went from would-be... Linny was not in the tunnel at that... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing... The deceased's name is Cowl, Linny's assistant. He would have been... It would have been tough for both people. No one entered or left the op. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all...
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3... And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real-life person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from... The deceased's name is Cowl. The vase was not broken by chance.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together! Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method...
Oh, just a moment, please. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality. Must we really? Magic tricks are ultimately just illusion.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of... Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much but given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be... Guards, please step into the...
We are still examining the items, but we have already We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's bag. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are...
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epic. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusive. As such, we believe that the defense...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but...
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to... Wait just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your part?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is under... Still, let us assume that these... Guards, please continue. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence.
Of course. Thank you. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe...
Right! Like the metal hook! That would... Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick. The water from the primordial sea should already have been... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that...
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number select. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel, but he encountered something.
Huh.
That actually links together.
Oh dear, what do I do?
Now, it seems like the only point of his notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could—
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to—
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting, and we found an
What?
That can't be. Does this not, my dear citizens? Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the upon his ultimately, he knocked Cowl. Now, as much as I... Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no... Is this the end of the rope?
Oh no! Paimon seems using the water.
I think we've all seen, and I believe this is indeed the... Now then, my good...
Excuse me,
Miss, I must ask you...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young What in the world is...
No offense, miss, but miracles...
Come on now, don't be silly. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them? And wouldn't such a trick be the most... Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Speenit but, as the magic makers and stars of the
I understand.
And voila!
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then,
That'll teach you to
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian. And I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and
Hey! No wonder you look familiar. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have... He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked... There was nowhere to run from there, though. So I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to tell the entire... The strange sound wasn't... The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, her panic only intensified after she entered. Hearing the commotion, he did not know that Lillian was not from mistakenly believing that the water from the two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but with no way of escaping, she changed her clothes. She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel...
Ah, so that's Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina. Please answer the question, Lady Farina.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further.
Wow! Look at that!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, with some modifications to the selector to cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to... He poured the water from the primordial sea into a... Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to... When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious. Lillian, according to her own statements. As for Linny, he was in the... From this reconstruction of events...
Hooray, Linny and Lynette!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be... This case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the fun... As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared...
Great work. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's bag?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to let...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way...
I was just we were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearance.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the therefore you would be wise to tell...
Yes! Our boss discovered it can also be made into a potion. We've been in this business for a while now, and...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. guess. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the house— that was how Father, who you might know as the Knave—
The knave? The one who controls the—
That's right. And since we're here, back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the street. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing— I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. Before long, an aristocrat—
So you went from orphans to nobility?
That was how we felt at first, too. But I gradually discovered that he would constantly take me to all sorts—
That doesn't seem too bad.
After one particular performance, I waited a long time after we returned. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent—
Oh no. But
as far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent. All I saw was the moonlit ground covered in—
So, she'd already taken care—
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could— Father, I mean, the Knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you. For your— I was hesitant to trust her, but she was also quick to
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtained—
So, she believes in—
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently— Today's case has also proved all of us house members here. To us orphans, the only connect—
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like
It's all right. I understand. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have— If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you. As plain—
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure? And given that there's new—
I see. Well, sorry.
Don't say that now.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new water. Sorry about that. Wait, shall we have a farewell?
Huh? Do we—
Well, I'd just like to have a proper— Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it should—
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm if possible.
Oh, wonderful. In that case—
All right, then. Let's have our farewell—
came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as a—
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten.
In that case, I'll go order.
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good,
And if it...
well,
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but...
Oh, true.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that... Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but
If it hadn't happened right in front of us...
right? Yet it was because...
Ugh. If only...
In such investigations, even the smallest step, to be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single, narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well,
guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for—
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House. Only I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the—
could you suggest something a little—
All right, here's another. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm
that might—
valid point. All right, you did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false—
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to— Why don't we give it a try after this
Huh? Paimon. No, it's fine.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway.
Is that so? If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're... Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Can't you see Paimon's big...
Okay.
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing.
Let's get ready to try to meet the...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always... in any case,
See ya!